Well, welcome back to what was it called? ATR. Develop an aircraft series. I'm your host. My nickname, well, my in-game name is Astralis. Where did that come from? I used to be a big World of Warcraft player, so that was the name of my main character, and it sort of just stuck. My real name's Daniel Lord. Which you probably know from my YouTube anyway, especially if this is where you found this video. So, returning viewers, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed what you've done. If you've actually got to developed this stage, drop a screenshot link down in the comments section, and I'll have a look at all your wonderful creations so far. Today we're gonna move on with our project. We're going to add in a tail section and wings. We're also going to do some other things. By now you should have installed Blender to P3D. Yours may look different to mine because mine's an older version. I will upgrade at some point, but I'm not going to until I finish my final year project because I don't want to risk messing it up, especially as I'm aiming for high marks. Go me. So I'll be using mine as an example. Now it's blank at the minute because we haven't done anything to it because we didn't need to, but I'm going to do it now so it's done and I won't have to worry about it for the rest of the series. So the first thing you do is you come down here and it will be this tab here, friendly name. Now I'm going to call mine ATR72 because that's what I'm calling it. It's a friendly name. I'm developing for P3D version 3. If you're doing FSX, yours will be FSX, and so on and so on. What you want to do now is generate a GUID, I believe it's called, GUID, which is a unique number, and click Initialize Toolset. Okay, so now you've initialized your toolset. It will know where the SDK is, and you'll have access to everything here. So as you see, look, there's ambient, and that's all the animation stuff. But we're not at animations yet, so we don't need to worry about that for now. One thing we've got to do is see where we've got cylinder over here. So on your toolbar, if you click the little yellow square thing, and then click the name, and then just change it to fuselage, or in my case I'm going to call it body. Okay, so we've done that, so that is now called body. We're going to go into the right view, so if you remember now it's pressing the 3 key on your numpad and then press Z to go into wireframe mode. Okay, we're going to start off with this tail section, this bit here, not the rudder itself, that's the next bit, but we're going to do the tail. Okay, so if you left click, say here, it'll move your 3D cursor to that section. Sometimes it won't be exactly where mine is, but it's just the way Blender is. We're going to do Shift A. We're going to add a new mesh. We're going to add a cube. Okay, now before we go any further, I would like you to press 1 to go to your front view. What we're going to do is we're going to scale this cube down to the correct thickness for the tail, using the front image as an example, as our guide. Okay, so we want to zoom in. Now to remove your view, if you remember, it's the left shift button, your middle mouse button, and you hold that down and you just move it about to where you want it to go. Awesome. Right, so next we want to press the S key for scaling, and we want to scale it on the X axis, so we can only go in or out. We don't want it to go up or down, and just bring it in to roughly where you think it should go. So that's the correct thickness done. Okay, so number pad 3 to bring us back out to the side view. What we want to do is make a copy because we've already got the correct thickness, and I find it's easier to do it this way than adding in a new object and then trying to get it to sit nicely and be nice and flush. So to do that, hold down your left shift button and press D, then press Y, and you can move your copied image across. Now if you look on your toolbar, if you're still on the yellow square cube thing, it will say cube.001. So that's your copy. Okay, we are still going to be working with the main cube. Okay, so we're going to give it a name, and I'm going to call mine tail, and press enter, so that enters it in. We're not going to worry about the other cube for now. Okay, zoom in a bit, move your view so that you can see what it is you're going to do. And what we're going to do is we're going to manipulate this cube just using the z-axis and the y-axis to follow this line here, like this. We're not going to worry about this little bit of detail down here. You can, if you want to try it out, mess around with it, be my guest, but that's not, I'm not going into that detail. That's something that you have to learn and get to grips with yourself, which will make you a better modeler. Okay, so let's get cracking. If we press the tab key to go into edit mode and press A to deselect everything, we are left with our cube. Okay, now just like last time with the fuselage, you want to press B, because if you only right click on each individual vertice, those little dots, you're only going to select one of them, but you want to use both of them. Okay, so if we go B, select this corner. I am going to use the arrows to move bits about. Press A to deselect it, press B again to get this other one. We're just going to put him in roughly there, and do the same down here. Bring him in like that, put him down, and just across a bit. That's lovely, lovely. This one, he goes all the way out and down. Now, as you've probably noticed, it's not exactly the same shape, so we are going to need loop cuts. Control R. Now sometimes you'll get it going this way, which we don't want. So if you just move your mouse around, you'll see that it will change itself and you'll get the one you want. So left click, move to where you want it, left click again, press A. And we'll need another loop cut to go down here. And A. B, select your vertices and move where you want them to go, and do the same for the other one. If you think I'm talking too fast, or you're having difficulty keeping up with my speed, just tell me in the comments. I do look at comments, and I will I'll slow down and I'll try and make this better. It's my first tutorial, like. Alright, so press tab to come out of edit mode and A to deselect, and there's your first part of your tail. Lovely. Go back into side view, and now we're going to do this rudder. This rudder is the moving part. That's why I've done it separately. So we'll just use the little Y arrow to bring it across, and I'm going to change the name to rudder. Now it's all separated at the minute, but we'll discuss this bit once we've modelled this properly. Okay, so object still selected, tab and A. Next thing we're going to do is, if we go B, and I want to select both of these, and put them up here, move it across, put it there, do the same, deselect it all, select this corner, and just line it up with the other line. Do the same with this one, and we're just going to move it down and around to there. A to deselect, B to select, and we'll put him there. Now this little bit here is for trimming. I'm not going to model it in this one. If I decide to, I could, if I wanted in the future. But now we're going to do something new. Okay, so B, and select these two, and I want you to press E and Z. So you've got the blue line. Now you might have to push Z twice or once. It depends. It will limit it to the Z axis, and you just want to go up to roughly about there. A to deselect, and basically what we've done is we've extruded the object to go up. Okay, to create this top part here. So if we do it again, so B, select these two, and we're going to press E for extrude on the Y axis, and we'll just bring it across. Doesn't matter where, just anywhere will do. We'll leave that where it is. Select these two, and we want it to follow this line to roughly about there. Brilliant. So we're starting to get the shape of our tail. So we're going to do it. We're going to do the whole select and extrude one more time. So E, Z to about there. Now, there's two ways of doing this. You can scale it on the Y axis. So if we discuss on Y, which will give us this kind of curvy top part. But that's basically it. So we tab and A, we're going to Z. It looks like one part, but if we go right click on this and press R and Z, I think, so there's your rudder doing its thing. So that will be the only part that will move. So it won't look blocky, obviously, once we've done the what do you call it, modifiers. All right, so it's starting to look like a little bit like a plane, a bit blocky, but you know, we can fix that when we get to it. Now it's time for the tricky part. If we go to our top-down view. We've got this tail section to do here, finish off with its wing, and we've got the main wing to do here. So we want to go into wireframe mode by pressing Z. Leave the 3D cursor where it is, because that's where we want it. Make sure nothing's selected, which it is not. To double check, if you just press A and then A again, until everything is gone. So it's just the black. You don't want to see the orangey, yellowy colours. You just want to see black. Back at the top-down view. Now, we will do the rudder similar to how we've done the tail. Okay, this bit here is the bit that moves. If you have your images of the actual aircraft, you also see that there is a cut roughly around here somewhere. You can't see it in this drawing, and that's just to allow the movement of the rudder. So it is. We'll start off with this part here, and then we'll do this bit. These little lines here are the boots. Now that's for anti-ice. They'll just be an image. There's no point animating it because you're never going to see it. So you're not. Okay, so Shift A, mesh, and a cube. We're going to scale it down on the Z axis first, and it's not doing anything, so press X, escape, which will cancel changes, and we'll just try it again. So S, Y, there we go. So I pushed the wrong key. And we'll put it around about there. Okay. Yes, I'm happy with that. Now, we're going to do a little trick now, okay? If we do Control R, can I see where... Oh, sorry, I'm not in edit mode. Go into edit mode, Control R, leave it where it is. So click and click. A. Done. Select these two vertices. Click press the delete key and delete vertices. So you're left with just half an object. Okay. Go out of edit mode. Go over to your toolbar. Click modifiers. Add modifiers, and you want mirror. So it's going to mirror the other side for you. There's reasoning behind this madness, of course. If you go to edit mode now, then press B, select these two vertices and drag them out. Do you see? That distance is exactly the same on both sides. You can do this with the fuselage as well, but I find that it can be problematic, especially when you come to finer details like the windows, and you don't want to worry about it. Okay, so A, B, and we'll select these vertices and bring them in. A, Z, have a nosy. No, that is way too big. I have never seen a plane with such a big tail section. So if we go to 3, let's go into your right view, Z, tab to exit out of edit mode, scale on the Z axis, bring it down to about there, bring it down about there, and I think that looks about right. We'll just see. Now the reason why I'm going back into it is because I want to looking at the images, these parts are like inside the fuselage, inside the tail section itself. So it is. So that's what I'm just checking for. Now if we go back into top view, press Z to go back into wireframe mode. We're done. We have done that part. Again, because I've got the correct thickness, so I just want to make a copy of this. So Shift D and Y, just to put it up there, out of our way. And then A to deselect, and then select the original, because we need to name it. Now I'm just going to call mine tail underscore wing, just for simplicity's sake. Okay. And A to deselect. So we're done. Now we're working on the copy that we've done. I'm going to call mine tail ailerons. That will do for spelling. It doesn't have to be exact. Right. So we're going to bring this back down to about there. Tab to go into edit mode. B to select the middle vertice and bring it up to be in line with that. Just remember we're working on one side because it's still got the mirror modifier on it. Okay. So just do that to make it all flush. B, move that down a smidge because it does have a bit of a curve on it. I'm now just making sure everything's where I want it roughly. B, select these two, and what we're going to do the same we did with the tail. Okay, so we want to extrude on the X-axis and bring it out to about there. A and B, select these two, extrude on the Y-axis and bring it to there. A, B, select these vertices, just move them up a bit. Now I'm just doing this a different way compared to last time. This is mainly because they're a different shape essentially, and I believe that's that. We now have our rudder tail section done. So there it is. That's the part that's going to get animated when we come to that stage. So yeah, we're all good. So what we're going to do is now, if we go into our modifiers, and we can click apply and do the same for the other part, which means now that any editing you do, you have to do on both sides, but you shouldn't have to do any. So we'll just come out of edit mode. So that's our tail section done. Awesome. Next we're going to move on to is wings. Now if we go into front view first, and I'm just going to put my 3D cursor here. It's probably still at the back, but you know, we can work with that. It doesn't have to be exact because you're going to move stuff about anyway. We're going to do the same method as we did with the tails wing stabilizer thing, jiggy section. What we're going to do is we're going to create the wing going all the way across with the correct thickness all the way down, and then I'm thinking of putting in either I'm going to put a cube into this section here, and then I'm going to have to eyeball it to figure out its shape, its overall shape, and then that'll be the wings. Near enough done. We'll then do the these ailerons here for changing the its roll, as we call it. I can fly, believe it or not. It's just it's 10 past 11 in the morning for me, and I'm still tired. And my daughter was up at 5 o'clock this morning because she doesn't realise that she gets an extra hour in bed. And I can't explain to her because she's only like 9 months old. Nearly 10 months now. Right, so anyway, we're getting sidetracked. Well, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. You're probably sitting there, done this bit, going like, come on, what's next? Let's do this. Shift A. And we're going to get a cube. Z to go back into wireframe mode. We're going to scale it on the Z axis first. And we're just going to smooth it down till it's about right. Does that look about right? No, it's a bit big. Maybe a bit more. Yes, I like that bit. That looks better. Put it back in the middle. Roughly there. Zoom in. Tab to go into edit mode. A to deselect all. Control R. Double click A. B. Select them two. Delete vertices. Go back into that mode, out of edit mode, and apply your mirror modifier. Back into edit mode. And what we're going to do then is select these two and just drag them all the way out to the end of the wing. Easy. Now this is a straight. Is it straight wing? Let's just double check. ATR front view. Yeah. The images I'm looking at, it looks straight. Well, no, there's a slight. Is there a slight curve up? Well, there is a slight curve. Very slight, so you could just do that a little bit. Now, oh, I forgot to put my brown bin out for the food. Oh well, I'll do it next week. Deselect all that. And what we've got to do is you've got to get the shape on the wing coming up from the underside here. It doesn't start changing till just after the engine, so around about here. So if we do Control R, I'll put the first one about here. A. Control R. I mean, you could do whatever way you want, but this is fairly easy. Right, so we're ready to start, so we do that, and we just drag it up a bit. Do the same for this side, drag it up a bit. And then it's going to be exactly the same as it is on the other side. I'm happy with that. So we can go to top view, come out of edit mode, and then just move the whole shebang to roughly the middle of where the wing is. That looks about right. And we're going to scale it on the y-axis just to get it about the same thickness. Maneuver it about a bit to get it where you want it. Go back into edit mode. Now, time to work on the shape of the wing from the top. B, select it all, we'll scale it on the y-axis. And do about there. B, scale on the y-axis. About there. B, scale on the y-axis to about there. And we've made a mistake. Well, I've made a mistake. Not to worry, it's easily fixed. We're going to go B, select these vertices, delete vertices. B, select these and move it to here. Because this, where are they? I need a top-down view, really, of the. Just to see where the ailerons are on the real aircraft. So they wouldn't move the whole thing, would they? Let's have a nosy. I need to find another. It looks like it is, but I'm not 100% sure. That looks like. So let's it's. Okay, according to the image, it is so. That's what we've got to do. This is now for this section here. So we're just going to model this bit here. Okay, so if we go Control R, whilst we're on Blender, Control R, side, let's bring it up to about there. Press A, select these two vertices, extrude on the X-axis to here. Like so. A to deselect, B to select this vertex, and just drag it up here roughly. Now, all we have to do then is add in the aileron here, and the basic shape of the wing is done. That's what all we're doing right now is working basics, and then we'll add in the detail. So. Tab to come out of edit mode, A to deselect it. We're going to have to add in another mesh for a cube. Go back into 1, scale. Scale on the Z axis. This is going to be a bit thinner because it's already on the edge. Just to maneuver it about to get it where you want it roughly. That looks about right. So if we go back into top view, move it where we need it to be moved to. Press S and X to stretch it to the correct length. To about a bit fiddly this bit. And let's do it one more. I'm not happy where it is. There we go. That's better. Okay, and now we've just got to press S and then Y to make it thinner. Go into edit mode. Deselect all. Select these vertices. Put that there. Do the same with these ones, just to put it where it's meant to be. And then select these two vertices, extrude on the x-axis to the end there. A to deselect, B to select, and then extrude on the y-axis to roughly there. And then we'll add a mirror modifier, and it should not do that. Well, it doesn't matter. You can. We'll not do a mirror modifier. We'll just do Shift D on the x-axis. Put it over here, and then I want to rotate it. So do R, Z, 180. No. I just want to flip it. Maybe if I do it in one. Rotate Z. Rotate X. Rotate Y. There we go. That's the one I want. So 7. So rotate Y 180. Enter. There we go. That's done. So you're going to select your wing now, and then we will apply the modifier to it. So it's now a solid object, and it's all in the right place. It's all in the right way of doing its thing. Right. So we've done this part now. How long have we been chatting? 32 minutes. Right. We are going to do some modifiers now, just to make it look more like the aircraft. The only thing we're going to do is the tails and the wings for now. The body I'll do last, which reminds me, we've got some cubes to name. For example, this here is a wing. This is your left aileron. And this is your right aileron. Okay, now I know this bit is still a bit funky. We will fix that, don't worry. I just wanted to show you these modifiers, and then yeah, and then we will sort that bit out. So first things first, we'll pick an easy one. So that's this one, this bad boy here. Okay, if you go to your little wrench, add modifier subdivision. Now see the way it's gone all like that. That is that's just what happens. So if we do 2, go into edit mode, but leave the solid mode on, do Control R to the big one like that, and then just drag it to the end, all the way, just about there, about there, and then repeat and do this side, not all the way, because you want to keep the curve. How does that look? Yeah, I like that. Do the bottom now, so down here. I'll just put that all the way down because it's flush. Deselect, and then do the same up this top part, but not all the way, because you want the curve which shows in it. And then tab A. So there is a smoothed out rudder with its smoothy, ruddery bit. The only thing that isn't right is that there is no real curve here. But you should be able to do something with that. So if we Control R like that, keep it in the middle, and if I just push it out a little bit, it kind of gives you the curvature that you want. But that's essentially it too, and you can hit smooth and it'll smooth it out a bit and apply. And then now you don't want to be editing in this, you see, because look how many more vertices it has just with that alone. My phone keeps beeping because Team Snapchatted me. Okay, so that's that done. Next is this rudder part. So same process, 2 views, edit mode but keep it in solid mode, and sort of move your camera about till you get the point where you want to get, and not all the way because you want the curvature. Do the same on the other side, but not all the way because you want the curvature. And then do the same here, do it all the way down for that one. This one will be a bit more trickier. Oh, sorry, that's me pushing the wrong buttons. About there. About there. Yes, I'm happy with that. One other thing we've got to do is go into wireframe mode, because we haven't finalized it yet. You're not going to get absolutely every single vertex yet. So if we select these ones and these ones, I think, and the top ones as well, so we get a nice view, so we can select the ones we want. No, I don't want these ones now. So press B, hold down the shift key, select them, and it gets rid of the ones that you don't want. You can also individually right click them, but that could be a bit of a pain. As you can see, I'm selecting things I'm trying not to select, so it's just easier to use the B key and just select them all. So hold down shift to select all them ones, B shift, deselect them ones, B shift, deselect them ones. And what I'm going to do is we're going to scale on the X because we want that thinner. Oh, Z, come out of it. There we go. So now you can actually see the line. We just got to fix this bit at the top. You can see where the rudder's going to spin round on its on an axis when we fix it. So again, Control R. Select these ones here and just drag it out a little bit just so it matches the other object. Why is my phone still going off? I do not know. But that's subdivision for you there. We'll do the other two in the next video. It's about 40 minutes now, and I want to keep them to about 40 minutes. To apply that, we will file, save as, and you want to put it in your folder backup, okay? And just name it to whatever you called your aircraft. So mine is ATR 72 blend, and save it as a Blender file. So that's that saved. It's in your backup. You will never lose it. So yeah, this is going to be the last one for the day. Okay, next one done for tomorrow, and tomorrow we will we'll do the wings and the tail wing. We'll also do the little bit of cutting that needs to be done in here, so that the aileron, the rudder can move. And we're just got to fix this wing because I just noticed it's broken underneath. But that's good because that can show me parts of the blender that you can use to fix that situation. So other than that, it's been a joy to do this with you. The aircraft is starting to take shape, as you can see, with the tails done. I was expecting to get the wings done as well, but we just didn't have the time. So next time we'll continue on with that, and we will discuss what has to be done next. Again, if you have been working away at this and you want to show off your creations, drop a wee link to your image on the comments, and I'll have a look and give you wee comments. If you've enjoyed this, give us a like. Likes are always good and will keep me going. So till next time, have a good day, have a nice Halloween. If you're over 18, don't drink too much. If you're under 18, don't eat too many sweets. So this has been Astralis, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.